comprised of 5 elements, and that is confidence, discipline, leadership, gratitude, and enjoyment. Those 5 things make you an authority figure. The number one mistake, the number one thing that people mentally make that ruins their success is thinking that confidence or authority has anything to do with anybody else. Because when somebody says the word, I have authority here, or I have authority, they're thinking in terms of some social hierarchy, like I'm above this person, or I'm over these people. And hierarchy is in status are not related in any way to authority and self-confidence. So that's the biggest mistake. So getting out of your head to the point where you never, ever, for the rest of your life, if I'm talking to one of your viewers right now, never for the rest of your life think about hierarchy, pecking order, and status ever again, because that's the number one thing that destroys you.
That's so interesting, because I've always thought about that. So authority, you're saying, is one of the biggest things then when it comes to influence. So you mentioned the 5 things. So can we touch a bit more on this? Like, how do we really develop more authority in our everyday life?
Yeah. One thing I'll do, I have a document that took me 20 years to build, and it's a survey to measure your level of authority and tell you exactly where you're lacking it. So when it comes to authority, we have confidence first. And confidence is just comfort. If you just think of it as I'm being comfortable. So if you were the type of person, and I'll say this to you, if you've ever struggled with, I compare myself, where am I on this pecking order? How am I doing on this hierarchy? The only way that I compare myself to other people, am I more comfortable than them? That's it. Am I more comfortable than that other person? So the challenge would not be to be better or higher than the person. It is to be more comfortable. And the fastest way to do that is I train my body to move slower than everybody else in the room. I'm slower. And that's it. I'm speaking more confidently, more securely. I'm speaking more slowly. That's the challenge from here on if you're trying to do confidence. And confidence is all about permission. 100%, it's about permission. Do I feel permission to behave a certain way in this context? And most people think that there is something that will tell me what I can do. But actual confidence means I'm going to do everything I want to do. I don't need a permission slip to feel confident. Then we have discipline. And I just define discipline as your ability to prioritize your future self ahead of your present self. That's it. And the simplest way to start hacking into discipline is to get dopamine from discipline. So like the night before you go to bed, you were just standing in my kitchen a few minutes ago. I've got a little Keurig coffee maker there. So before I go to bed, I'm putting the coffee in there, lifting the lid, making sure there's water there, putting my coffee mug there, ready to go. So when I wake up, I go flip and I push a button. So I'm setting things up for my future self to where I'm developing a relationship with my future self. So I'm no longer looking backwards with regret. I'm looking backwards with gratitude. I'm thankful for everything that I did. Just a few months ago, I did this. In the spring, I'll put like $50 or $100 bills in some of my winter coats, just as like, because I'll find that later. I'll forget about it, but I'll find it later in the year, and it's a gift to myself. And I'm getting dopamine from me. I become my source of dopamine. So the best way to do that, and people see like, oh, that guy's, somebody's going to the gym all the time. He's got so much discipline. That's not discipline. That's a habit that took like a tablespoon of discipline to get started. That's all you're seeing. So somebody's eating healthy, they're disciplined. They're not. They just have a habit. So the fastest way to get a habit is to figure out, how can I get dopamine from me doing this? Those little things. What can I do today? Not just for myself 20 years from now, but how can I get myself quick rewards tomorrow? I'm going to lay my clothes out. Everything's set up. I've got everything. Like I wake up and it's like I had a butler overnight, like set all this stuff up for me. When I wake up, I'm like, wow. So I'm like thankful to myself.
And how is that something that plays a role in being more authoritative?
Just having discipline. I'll give you an example. If you and I were sitting in an airport, you're going to be going down to Raleigh-Durham Airport here in a few hours. If you and I were hanging out there in the airport and I said, Maureen, look around the room right here. You're not a professional behavior profiler, but can you find somebody that's disciplined? We could see it. We feel discipline on people because they behave differently. They act differently. And if I say, look around and find somebody that's confident, your brain knows how to spot that. Your brain knows how to do that. It's been doing it for 1 million years since we've been kind of evolving. And all of these things trigger the human brain to say, this person is more followable than that person. So when we see authority figures, it's our mammalian animal brain saying, that looks more easy to follow. So just having that, and then leadership is being more followable. Am I communicating clearly? Do I complete my movements? So you'll see people that do half movements, so that when I reach for a water glass, and you'll see that like they don't kind of do it all the way, or like they'll like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So they don't complete movements. That makes them automatically, you become less followable, which makes you less of a leader.
Wow. And do you think that they're maybe doing that out of like a nervousness, like don't know what to do in that moment? Or
yeah. So what happens is our brain starts doing these calculations and says, what am I going to pick up that water glass? I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to look comfortable. I'm going to look cool. So that means we're living behind our eyes. Our experience is back here behind my eyes. So I want to focus on, in conversations, all of my presence, my focus. If I'm confident and comfortable, I'm not behind my eyes. I'm going to be in front of my eyes in the conversation. So that, just the confidence and being comfortable and having permission to act, puts you in front of your eyes. So that's the experience of like, I'm going to stop doing behaviors because I'm overthinking those behaviors. Instead of, should I get a drink of water? It's, I want water. And I'm going to do that and complete that behavior.
Okay. What do we cover?
Discipline, leadership.
Yes.
Gratitude. And you're like, well, how would gratitude have an effect? But if we were still sitting in that airport and I said, find somebody that's grateful. And you see somebody with those wrinkles right here, and you see them like, and just enjoying the mundane act of walking through an airport, and you see just a very slight smile on their face. So gratitude is kind of a waterfall into that enjoyment. So a person who's enjoying themselves, they don't have to be partying all the time. This is not like it's not about energy level. It's about mindset in the moment. So enjoyment doesn't mean I'm in the middle of some party and I bring the party everywhere I go. That's not what that is. That's excitement. So what we're talking about is enjoyment. So if I'm in a good mood and I'm quietly, calmly enjoying things that I'm doing, that automatically makes me more magnetic. And the moment you become more magnetic, you're automatically more followable. So those are the 5 traits that make a person more followable: confidence, discipline, leadership, gratitude, and enjoyment.